Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live! Filmed in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina in front of a live studio audience. Please, let's hear it for our special host, Andy S. Albright!
That's right. What I'm talking about. What I'm talking about. All right, y'all grab a seat. Good to see y'all. Up in the house. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Look at them. We got another shot today for show. I got a show today. I got 3 things that I want to talk about that I think are life-changing for most people.
All right.
Should they execute them? I think we can take some hot spots that are hovering around 35, 45, 50 people coming and take it to 100 people just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that, man. I'm not kidding you. This is serious business stuff right here. Seeing who I got up here on the front row. I see y'all. Good to have y'all here. Oh, hey, let's start off with some good news.
All right.
Adam and Theresa Johnson already won the extension. They not only won the cruise, they're now going to hanging out with us in Seattle. Mike and Kate Morisi, part of the Diane Lampy team, directed Diane Lampy. That's her nephew. He done won the cruise. We're going to Alaska. Mike and Kate fired up to be hanging out with y'all. Brian and Crystalline Rosa. Crystalline, I know you fired up about going on one of these cruises.
Oh, yeah.
Will and Sonia Parisi already won. I'm telling y'all, everybody's going. Think about this. I don't know. Right now, what do we got? October 15th, something like that? We're in a neighborhood in the middle of October. So we got in November what you could do if you started today 24/7. I believe if we had somebody got licensed today, they could win this cruise in that amount of time.
That's right.
So if you're halfway, if you got 50,000 points or 47,000 and thinking, I ain't got a chance, it is a no shadow of a doubt you could do it. If you made your mind up and just said, I'm going to bust my rear end from here on out. Now, I admit something's going to sacrifice. You're going to give up something, whether it's mowing the yard or television, which is 2 things that some people like to do. I like one of them. Lisa Lyon has won a trip now. Lisa, way to go, Jacksonville. And Danny and Lori Johnson. There it is, right there. I didn't know you was going to be here today, Danny Johnson. I didn't know you were going to be here today. We do. If you're brand new with us, let me let y'all know that we do all expense paid trips. Usually when I'm recruiting people, I don't really get into it too much, but I throw out there we do travel together, and you can win trips and bonuses, incentives like that, and let people know about it. Since I've been doing a side hustle, like I had a job and on a side hustle, since I won my first trip, that's like one of the major trick things in my mind, like I got to win a trip. And so if you can think like that, like I got to at least win a trip. And then your other concept is, can I get other people to win the trip with me? I have all these trigger things, Clay, that are in my mind, like I got to get this person to win a trip. Because I get them to win the trip, now they go on and keep winning the trip. Same thing, go to conventions. If I can get them to go to the convention, they'll want to go again. Right? And so if a guy goes on an all-expense-paid trip with us and don't win it again, and they don't want to do it again, sometimes I go in that just straight up redneck. And I need somebody to raise a hand and go like, we didn't understand what you said. Somebody said that on the phone to me. You went redneck there. I didn't understand nothing you said. If they go on a trip, they win an all-expense-paid trip with us and then don't really want to do it again, I'm not convinced I really want them on the team. Like, bro, you don't like having fun. That's one of our principles. Have fun, make money, make a difference. And you didn't like the fun part. Bothers me. So I'm like, I got to get them to win the trip. I got to get them to understand. And I game plan it out 24/7, every minute, every day, trying to show them how to make sure that they can win this trip because it's so important to me that they win it. In the beginning, I just wanted me to win it. Okay? So we're working. So this is what we've got to the end of the year. Every minute matters. And we're giving full credits for IULs. IULs, I had a guy just pick up a $2,000 a month check. Think about that. That's a lot of points right there. Annuities, we're doing 10%. So there's things that can happen. Like what if last minute you picked up a $400,000 annuity and you're going to get 40,000 points? You don't want to miss it by 2,000 points. Does that make sense? In other words, you want to do, starting today, you want to do everything you can because last minute something happens and you still don't want to barely miss it. Y'all with me on that? Okay. All right, so trips, and getting your other people to win the trips. It's a big deal. We have all kinds of leaderboards. One of my favorite going on right now is, let's see if I can find this one, the Rolex. I wonder if we got a Rolex. Oh yeah, here we go, the Rolex done. Here we go. So we're giving away 3 Rolexes, and I want to tell you who's in the running for this thing, because this is kind of a little heated contest. I know I saw Rolex. There we go. This is a little heated contest. Right now, if we were to do the contest right now, let me tell you who we would have. Is there 5 watches? 5 watches. Only got 3 in the picture. Mark Hutchinson would get his choice of which Rolex to have. Let's see if you can pull up. There we go. Here we go. Mark Hutchinson would have his choice of any of the Rolexes that he wants. These are all these Rolexes are 2002 Rolexes. So it was the year that we started the company. So they're that vintage. So he would pick of all he wants. And I'll let y'all know this. I'm buying more Rolexes now that are around the 2002, not around, they're on 2002 manufactured. Some that are just absolute bizarre crazy ones that are gorgeous. So you follow what I'm saying? Like there's going to be another contest coming. But right now you want to get the first one. Jeremy Patton would get his next choice. Joe Dukes would get his choice. And then Megan Wood. This is Megan Wood. Mike and Noel Leventevich. Mike was telling me last night she's recruiting like crazy, selling like crazy, winning, just winning. Fairly new with the company. Michael and Angie Owens would get what's left over right now, but they would get one. Okay, you understand? Just missed and very upset about it is Adam Johnson, Grace McGill's team, and Robert Wilson, some people know him as Sarge, would be mad. Okay, because he would know if he'd have given it everything he had, he'd be in the top 5. So hopefully he's hearing it now, and he goes like, oh, now, come on now. And then John Courtney, part of an Adam and Beth Katz's team, he is real close. James Coleman is real close. That's the top 10. Marcus Richardson up there, Brant and Jill Swindell, Minerve Profil, Debbie Ben, Matt Goodrich, Jonathan Yakey, and Megan Alleman, and Sean Quigley. And that's AC and Letitia Clark. So that's kind of who's that. So this Rolex stuff goes all the way through the end of the year. Did Patton jump up on there? Okay. Patton, so you know, he just paid a $680,000 annuity. So he popped up 68,000 points. 68, yeah. How much would we do done? Yeah, $68,000, $684,000 annuity. So let's always say rough commissions are 5%, right? If you're a little bit lower contract, might be a little bit more. If you're a little bit higher, a little bit more. So how about that? Right. Yeah. Not a bad little pickup. So, for some of you mathematically inclined people, my man got over $30,000 cash. Cash in his account. Does that make sense? Say hello. Hello. Green sheets, baby. We got all kinds of contests going on. I know this part of the segment is boring for those of you that name's not being called. And I apologize for not calling your name, but you ain't on the list. If you was on the list, I would call your name. National Life Group came to me and said, look, we would like to give away some stuff. And Fidelity and Guarantee said that, because these Index Universal Life is kind of an opportunity to make a lot of points at one time. So if you're $1,000 a month, that's a $12,000 opportunity. And so Fidelity and Guarantee came up. If you hadn't read the book called has to do with cleaners and closers and Relentless. If you hadn't read that, Relentless. If you're a fighter guy, like a competitor, Relentless. Read that Relentless and find out what competition is, because competition don't sleep. Competition get people saying things like, you just letting a lot of your responsibilities go, all focused on this one thing. That's what they say to you. That's what you say to relentless people, because they're relentless. They're relentless on this one thing. And they're not so worried about other things. Right. And then people criticize them. You need to be more well-balanced. You need to talk to this person, your mama more, your brother more, your cousin more, your neighbors more. You need to go to more. You need to, what? I'm relentless. Let me give you the book. Oh, that's right. You don't read much, do you? Here's the book, Relentless. I should have said that, but I meant it. It's just funny how people are. They don't. So F&G is giving away a cleaner cooler. We don't want you to be called a cooler, because he has coolers, closers, and cleaners. And see, these are the cleaner coolers. Okay? So it is a pretty cool cooler that F&G is giving away. And all you got to do, I think all you got to do is sell 2 policies. So issue pay 2 Fidelity and Guarantee policies. And is this through the end of the year? Yeah, let's go with through the end of the year. I hope that's what it is. So understanding how to run a quote, I would suggest the first one be on yourself. When I first got in this business 20 years ago, when I first got my license, first thing I did is buy me a $250 a month Index Universal Life. Does that make sense? $250. I had no money, wasn't making anything, but I knew I could make $250 a month. Just get that one, and then your second one gets you the cooler. And you get a huge discount on your policy or commission, however you want to look at it. Right now, in the Fidelity and Guarantee, we have 18 people who has written 1 application. Can you do that's Fidelity and Guarantee. Let's see who we got on here. So right now, first place, most premium that comes in gets $1,000 extra cash, and so on. It goes $1,000, $500, $250, $100 and $50. So everybody that issue pays 2 gets cooler, and the most gets $1,000. All right, and so people say, well, somebody come up last minute and write one big policy. That's right. Or you just keep writing and you just keep killing. So right now, Brittany has written one with $6,000. Maka has did one for $6,000. Katie Williams. So here's your list: Align, Chris Baldwin, Miles Gatos, Brandon and Ashley, Alfonso Bell, DeCarlo, that guy, Chuck Boiselle, Nick Neitzel, Mickey Cruz, Felix Haywood, Adam Johnson, Tariq, and Shannon Barnhart have all written an IUL for. And so look, still anybody's ball game in the IULs to win these coolers and win that $1,000 cash. And then National Life Group, not to be outdone, they said, let's talk about us and what we can give away. And they came up with, they got these bad to the bone National Life shirts, high quality NLG polos. So he's getting ready to pull that one up. They're giving that away, and $1,000 to the most premium. So you can win F&G $1,000 cash, and you can win NLG and win $1,000 cash if you're spreading your IULs out. So 2 gets you a shirt. Right now we have had, I got 42 on this page, 42 different people have issue paid a policy. Mark Muller obviously wrote a big one big one for $20,000, leads the country. So he would stand a shot at making $1,000 extra cash. Mahboob has come up with 10 already at $13,000, so he continues his trend. He's going to be steady just putting them in. Joe Dukes, number 3. DJ Jennings out of Alaska. It's right up there. Alan Yoshikawa out of Hawaii. James Coleman. Patton, again. Patton's coming alive, but I mean, he's hiring people. His business is blowing up. William Bott, Chisholm Emeto, Kimberly Paget. That's a good one. Paulo must have, I don't know who. Somebody tell me if you're his leader, manager, executive. Let me know who that is. So I want to learn how to pronounce their names. Karen Musel, Julie Moran, Martha Batorsky, Dr. Martha Batorsky, Adam Johnson. I think that's Chuk. That's Chuk. That is Chuk, ain't it? So we should change that on the leaderboards where it just says Chuk. Glenda, Sydney and Justin, David and Linda, Kelly Haney, Ben Moody, Joe Smith, Sharon, Veronica, Mark Horning, Diane Lampy, James Smith, Eric McGriff, Quentin Battle, James and Pam Alara, Elizabeth Jenkins, 42 of them, Mark Magyar, Calvin Jones. So all these people should win a shirt, and more people can win it. Elizabeth Smith, Paul Roberts wrote one, Nick, the boss, Taflin boss, Tyler Pierce down there in Alabama, Robert Bailey, David Mercier, Calvin Jones, Mark Magyar. Hal and Ellen, recruiting like crazy, Dawn Hill. So pay attention to these contests. I always like the contests. It just keeps my mind thinking, how am I going, if I can win these little games, then it just pushes my whole business forward. What is Forrester's doing? Oh, fire drill. That's where we're doing the contest to go up to Forrester's. I'm already taking a group up there. They must have won it the last time. In 2 weeks. Is anybody going to Forrester's trip? There is, but it's Forrester's trip. We already had some people won, or is this a new contest? So the Nassau, we're going 2 weeks. We're going up to Connecticut, or 3 weeks. We're taking people up there. We're always doing something, spend money. I know that. Really to have fun. Oh, I want to tell y'all one thing, and I'm not going to get into it too much. It goes like this. And I really am asking my leaders across the country, see how much you like this. This is called the AARP leaderboard, or the Albright Alliance Racing Points. Y'all know, anybody following NASCAR, and they get these points? And the points is whether you come in first, second, third, and whether you do this, and whether you're the point leader. And okay, so then you win a championship. So here's what the only thing different is I'm giving 1,000 points per direct recruit. Okay. So for example, right now, Jeremy Patton is leading the country. Wait a minute, that's month to date. Month to date, he's leading the country because he got that annuity. All right, leading the country right now. Month to date. Where's my year to date? Right, year to date. Right. If we were doing this contest this year, we're not. But I'm trying to get you to understand how it works. So if we come out with this January 1, leading the country is Brant and Jail Swindell. Listen to this. He's got 328,000 points for the cruise. All you need is 115,000 to go. And what is the extension? Is it 200,000? 200,000. He's already got 328,000 plus he's got 52 recruits. So that would give him another 52,000 points. So he's at 380,000 points in the AARP. So what we do is we give you 10% of annuity credit, full credit for IULs, and full credit for life. And then $1,000 per direct recruit that you bring in contracted. Number 2 in the country would be Hutchinson. He's got 373. He's only got 6,000 for recruiting, so it puts him in number 2. See how close he was? He did 373 in life production, plus $6,000 gets him to 379, where Swindell's 380. 380 versus 379. Mike and Michelle Alleman have 33 recruits and 295,000. And keep going it down. Sarge, 313. So it's a different way of looking at it. Sarge or Robert Wilson, Brandon and Ashley Bill would be number 5 in the country because they got 22 recruits and 265,000 points. So this would be racing points because next year's theme is, I don't think they want me to tell you this, but I'm telling you, it's going to be racing. Okay? Just letting you know. It's going to be racing. But it's really cool, the whole thing. And we don't want to get into that because we're still doing Alaska and we're still in I'm always like 2020. You know what I mean? It's coming. I got my, matter of fact, I got my new coin, my 2020 coin. Yeah, that's right, baby. What do you want? Remember? Okay, y'all remember this one right here? Okay, this is the new one right there. Yeah, I'm already thinking 2020, man. And then on the back, you got the 2020 vision and N24/7 RU. Woo! As a matter of fact, we probably got some of those to give. Do we have any? Is anybody in here that won the shirt or the coins? Oh, yeah. What if we can get the shirt and the coins and recognize them? We got to give it to them sometime. Might as well give them today because they already won it, right? So, all right, they're working on that. So we're going to get you shirts and you get your coins. Woo! 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 Hey, people are like, I don't care none about a little coin to you. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's what I always try to win. I want every coin, every T-shirt, every trip. They give away free pair of socks. I'm getting me some. That's what I said. It's free. It's for me. That's right. That's why I don't like buffets, because I will take advantage of it. All right. I'm putting people on stress, gathering stuff up, but I wanted to. You like that Alliance points? Yeah. Remind you with Good Samaritan points, we're giving away cash to your favorite charities, and this is based on number of sales. Right now, we're up to $9,000 for the month of October. Leading the way right now is Jeremy Patton. He is $250 that he'll get to give to his favorite charity. And the way we do that is every month, and I am going to ask my staff on this too, we need a better way of letting everybody know how much they have in their account total, and some kind of a leaderboard as who has the amount in their, this is for Tia, how much is in their account, and then what company or what charity are they giving it to. Because in January at our convention, we're going to give away thousands and thousands, however much money. Some companies are going to get $3,000, some charities are going to get $50. We love to have all the charities here so that we give them these big checks all at one time for the whole year. All right? Megan Wood's got another $125. So there's a lot of money accumulating for people, and it's who we are. Have fun, make money, make a difference. We want to make sure we do all of those things. So the Good Samaritan bonus checks are piling up. Oh, this is a big one. Power of 10. We love to give out, we've got these cool portfolios and cool T-shirts whenever a person is issue paid 10 points, 10 policies. And this is it right now. There he goes. Pull it up. He's real close. Real close. I want to touch it. Boom. Yep, there it is. Okay, so who we got? Oh, shoot. I think. What's that? Where? I got their real names. Dan, look for that. Try to find that Power of 10 before, because I want to look. It should be typed up where I can read their whole names. I don't want to just say their. Huh? We don't have that one yet? Okay. So I want to do their whole name, so if I even have to pull this back up again. So Jason B. Fitzgerald's team, Jeffrey H. Chadwick Ray's team, Quincy J. Terry, and who's that? Terry J. That's Quincy Jordan. Kavanaski M. Felix N. Maboob. Leonard, Eddie, and Casey. Brandon Jones Swindell's team, Sanders' team, Stephen Davies' team, Sanders' team. Look at that. Sanders has got 2 of those. Mike and Michelle Alleman, Jeremy Patton got somebody, and Terry and Tia. So we'll get you those whole names. Maybe not today, but we're going to let them. We're going to start doing a better job of having, whenever they win something like that, we call their whole name out. Okay, so that's a big deal right there. In the hot spots, if you have people, is anybody in here on that list? If you have anybody there at the hot spots on that 10, make sure that Power 10, make sure we do a lot of recognition for them. All right, a lot of stuff. I want to look and see who's closest to winning the cruise, but I'm not going to do it. You're going to have to. We need you to win it to be recognized. Okay. I want to talk to my inner circle and my top agency managers. You ready? Kyle, where you at? Okay, listen to me, bro. We are experiencing an explosion. The numbers that are coming in on the leaderboards are going through the roof. And it's like when you're building a tower or a house or a pyramid or anything you're building big, you want to get a great foundation, because if you don't, when it gets so high. As a matter of fact, one of my guys asked me, he said, Andy, talk to me about the growth of the company. I said, it's been a lot like this. Like that. Does that make sense? Because of the foundation that we had built. We've never had a foundation like this. What's your name, sir? Derek, we ain't never had a foundation like this, okay? What I mean is this compensation system, that way we have the arc. Yeah. Like, put it this way, this is a big I'm talking to my agency manager, Kyle. Last year at the end of the year, I had $1.8 million in debt that I had. At the end of this year, because of the arc, I'll have 0 debt. Wow. I don't know how much debt you had at the end of the last year. I call it terrorist debt too, because as you're hiring a lot of people, Brandon, this guy has debt, but you don't know it. And if he dies, quits, his wife tells him he can't do it no more, and he goes away, you get that debt. Okay, because it's terrorist debt, Bo. And you get popped for $5,000 or $800. My leaders, I'm talking to my leaders, young people, new people, y'all don't listen to this. This is not important for y'all. Danny, this is important for you. So what happens is, you say, well, how am I going to have debt? You own a business, you can have debt, right? Okay, what happened was a person would have a little bit of debt with one carrier, but they'd write with this carrier, but keep the debt. Right. With the ARC, it won't let them do that. If they owe with this company and they make money, it pays off the debt. So it keeps you dead even. It is massive, massive, massive. End of the last year, it's like a person says, at the end of last year, I had $17,000 in my pocket. And I'm like, you know you had $50,000 credit card debt, right? Does that make sense? Right. So they had $50,000 credit card, but they had $17,000 in their bank account. So they think they're doing good. Right. This year they go like, I ain't got nothing in my bank account. I'm making less money. I go, bro, you had no credit card debt. So you're netting out $33,000 better to the good, because of your $15,000 credit card debt, and then minus $17,000 is $33,000 of debt you had. If you're dead even, but with no credit card debt, you're $33,000 to the good. You understand? I mean, I know this is a little financial problem for you, or a little in depth, but I'm telling you, some people know how to make money and some don't. And staying out of debt is huge. There's a lot of other things in this infrastructure that we've built that protect us now as we continue to pour on the gas and build like crazy. In other words, it is so much safer to build this tower. We got them OSHA laws. We got regulations. Our situation with the carriers, our compensation grid. Used to, I hate saying used to, but now, let me just say that. Now, when a guy catches your commission level, you still get a glow bonus. Right. You don't go to 0 and go to war. So I hate him. He passed me. I don't make no money no more. I tagged him, and I should still be making money off of him. If you didn't have a system like that where a guy can grow faster than you and you still make money, it's very frustrating. Right. If you ain't never experienced that, you don't know how mad you get. People get mad about that. I heard him, I ain't making no money. In the alliance system, it don't matter. They're yours, and you're going to make money forever. That's right. It's huge. There's so many foundational. So this is for my leaders. But we got to explain to people, now's the time to pour it all in. The numbers are already showing up, but I don't want anybody to let up thinking, I'm nervous. I'm going like all in. Now it's time to go all in. Okay? So for my leaders, managers, we got to get this word out that everybody's going all in. You with me? We got to get this word out, Danny. So you calling Ben and Tony, Renner, and letting them know. Kyle, so letting David, all these key people know. Letting Vinny know. You got to call them and say, look, I'm telling y'all, now's the time. Viviana, y'all got to do this. Now's the crazy time. You and Nick like going in. Okay? Morehouse, it is. Huh? Morehead from the Morehouse. I got you, Bo. Morehead. Clay, now's the time. We got the chance of a lifetime. Let's don't waste it. Okay. so tying into that, I love the title of this book, How to Get Everything You Want Faster Than You Ever Thought Possible. These 3 things I'm going to tell you is how to get stuff quick. I was on the phone with a sharp guy named David up in Chicago, and I was like, dude, I'm telling you, this is magical stuff if you can learn how to do it. Okay? And so I was reading about it, talking about it, thinking about it, praying about it, meditating about it, coming up with examples, and just kind of letting myself think about it. And I got Jeff Bright. I sent all to him. I said, Jeff, I want you to help me think about these 3 things, because if we can sell people on these 3 things, we'll mess them up. We'll get them crazy. All right, here's the questions I get. There's a lot of questions get answered with these 3. A lot of questions, Beth. You've asked me this question. Danny, you've asked me this question. I got a question from Erica right along this lines. I got a Tim texted me something this week. Here's the question. I seem like I'm not right. Something wrong with me. And you want me to get rich and build a big business. I'm having trouble balancing those 2. How do I do that? You with me? Like, who would say that? Well, I almost want to ask you to raise your hand. Okay? I think I will. But here, let's go to this one. I can't get out of my own way. Like I see how it works, but I keep stopping myself. I'm the disaster. How do I get out of my own way? These answer that question. Okay? So you want me to get other people to do something that I'm struggling with. Wait a minute, let me get it straight. I'm having a hard time, and you want me to get other people to do it. I can't even do it myself, and you want me to tell other people. I want you to be a preacher. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm telling you is? Preacher got problems. Preacher got to preach.
That's right.
Preacher ain't perfect. Preacher got to preach.
Right.
Your job is to preach, not be perfect. Does that make sense? You're not the be perfecter. You're the preacher man. She said, well, if I'm already writing $3,000 a month and I'm supposed to preach $20,000, that's what I'm talking about. If we was waiting for a perfect preacher, wouldn't be no preaching going on. If we was waiting for a perfect executive, Terry, we wouldn't have no executives up in our company. I know that. So I'm not perfect. How can I preach?
You're keeping it real now, bro.
I got problems. How do I expect other people to excel when I can't even expect me to excel? And how come I can't expect me to excel as bad as I am? You don't understand my circumstances. You don't know my situation. You don't know my story. You don't know what my daddy did. You don't know what my wife did. You don't know what God did to me. I don't know what the devil did to you. So you're telling me I don't know exactly your situation. You know why I don't know your situation? Because I'm too focused on my situation. Okay, so I literally got at least 6 people coming to me in the last 6 days saying these questions. Yeah. And because see, they say I can see it, but it's just when I go to reach over, I hold myself back. So how do I handle that? And I'm telling you, this is some simple stuff that can help you get over that. Jeff Bright, would you come up here and help me do these things? I don't know if you'd be willing to come up here and talk to them and teach them. Jeff loves helping people. He loves making a difference. Billy, would you make this where we can write on it? Can you do my whiteboard, please, sir? All right. So this guy I was talking to this dude last night. I said, let me tell you something, dude. This is what I said. Yeah, he couldn't see what I was saying. I said, let me explain something to you. Unconditional positive acceptance of people and unconditional positive regard for other person. Unconditional. That's the key. He said, man, that's poetic. I said, bro, I was reading it. Unconditional acceptance is the greatest gift one person can give another person. Unconditional acceptance.
Can they bring that up?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, you can bring it. I think Mac typed it up. We can have it written down. Well, that's the whole thing.
He's got it. Yeah.
He's got the whole thing written out if you want to. What did Matt give you, number 1? I wanted to be able to write, but that's fine. We can do that too.
We can switch back.
Okay. So here's a... we didn't talk about this. Dude, if people could do that to themselves, wouldn't that be the craziest thing?
We're talking about preach to others. They need to preach to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is in these hotspots. I'm thinking hotspot growth. I showed Jeff this. Here's the way our business looks. Our business, in general, we got some people making $1 million a year and some people making $2,000 a year. There's more people down here making $2,000 a year and $3,000 a year than there was making $2 million a year. And some people struggle with that. They go, why is that with your company? And I go, well, I don't know. It's called the Pareto principle. It's a mathematical formula. It's in the Bible. Here's what it says. There's always going to be some rich people and there's always going to be some poor. That's just the way it is. I can't argue with our company the way some people. Yeah, I know you've heard of socialism where everybody makes money, and you've also heard of Venezuela too, right? I don't know if you politically know this, but what I'm telling you is it's a disaster because they want everybody to pay the same. You with me? It's just hard to do that when the Bible says it ain't never going to work like that. And the engineers, the mathematicians at NC State call it the Pareto principle, meaning 20%. Does that make sense? I don't know how you can change. I don't know how you can make black, white, black, gray, purple. And does that make sense? So this is just the way it is. So now I'm giving it. So your question is, how can I get up here?
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you how to do that. We need to get more people down here. I'm just telling you. So you remember this, Jeff?
Yeah.
Because Jeff was like, Jeff says, we need to take some of these dum-dums and train them how to be smart people. I said, that ain't going to work. I've done this math. I said, here's the way it works. Here's the way our company looks right here. There's that amount of people. Here's what you do is you get it like this right here. And as you get more people here, see how that this number right here becomes this number right here?
Right.
And then this number up here becomes that number right there. Does that make sense? So what I'm telling you is at our hot spots, at our meetings, we got to grow this number right here and don't worry so much about this number. It's just hard to comprehend. But once you get it, it's one of those easy things. That if you want the desired results. So the number one thing is unconditional acceptance. It's hard to, it's just, let me, I'm trying to explain it to you. You ever seen a football or basketball and two players, they come up to each other and after a victory or something and they hug like this right here? Mm-hmm. I'm just going to tell you what. It's hard for me to hug a man, period. Right. And then you put sweat all over him and he's soaking wet. I'm not big on that. But when they do that with them sweaty bodies like that, it's unconditional acceptance. Does that make sense? So to me, that desire of just being around people and liking them, no matter what political preference, how big they is, how little they is, how old they is, how young they is. You with me? Like having no color, no gender, nothing, no concept. All I see is this. You helping this number right here.
That's right.
Now, what Jeff would say is, they are one of God's creatures. I bet, yeah. Does you understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah. We're going to get this number right here.
Concentrating on what makes us the same instead of what makes us different. Because there's a lot of things that make us the same in this room. More.
There's more things that we're alike than it is we're different. There are a few differences between me and you. But me and you, if we looked at the number of now, me and you, there's a lot of differences. And I ain't argue with it. Differences are important. But what's important is how many of us are alike. We done showed up the power of 10 people.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm going to give these people some honor right here. Now, time out here to honor them. Jason Blott, Jeff Harris, Quincy Jordan, Kabansky Morrison, Felix Nevis, Mahbub Hussein, Leonard Lawson, Eddie Travis, and Casey Rivera. Top 10. Power of 10 people. Power of 10 people. Y'all, you follow me? So what you do is you practice. How do I show it? Oh, They want me to tell you this. They said it's inconvenient. Why is it inconvenient?
I said caring is inconvenient.
Caring about people. It's caring about people.
Because caring, well, let's just say, we all agree that caring's necessary. Right. But it is inconvenient because it's not natural. It's just not natural.
It seems natural to me.
Well, it's very situational.
Is it like walking? I think texting and driving is natural, but they say you shouldn't do it. I've just done it so long. I know how to do it. I think I'm good at it.
If it was natural, this number would be huge down here. Because we would recruit more. Because caring is part of recruiting.
It's become natural for me, Bo, more than everybody else.
That's why he gets frustrated. He goes, I got to get one more. He goes, before we leave the office, I got to get one more. He's always thinking about getting one more. Well, it's not natural for a lot of us to think like that. But if we could get that mindset like he's got, that the rest of us don't have, then these numbers would grow. I mean, he's always told me about opportunity meetings and how many people go to these things and how ours could grow.
We need some at 100. Let me give you some criteria. No negative about nobody. It's all positive. Edification, loving on people, being nice. Now, people say, well, lolly. People say, I got to point out the problem. I'm going to point you out the door. Does that make sense? Like, people say, can we do that? Can we polite ask people? Say, yeah, look. If you're going to quit complaining, just don't come no more. I don't want you to not come. We're trying to grow this number. But you are a rotten apple in the dead gum bucket and you're causing problems. Stop it. You with me? Like we got it all positive in these meetings. No BMC about nothing. Y'all know what BMC. They don't like me to say them words. Bitching, moaning, and complaining. None of that. Does that make sense? Like zero. Like, I wish the guaranteed issue companies would pay me all up front. Shut up! Good thing them guaranteed insurance companies give us anything. Junker's about half dead. Good thing they're willing to even consider giving us some money. And they give us half of it up front. I need some gratitude.
That's it right there.
And I say, hey, these people half dead, and they issue a policy on them. We ought to have to pay them for the hope they gave us. Does that make sense?
He just said it. So caring is not natural, but what is natural is BMOC.
BMOC. Oh, yeah. It's natural.
It's natural. It's natural for us to air our dirty laundry. We think people want to hear our problems, and they don't.
No, they don't.
And if you do, they're not coming back.
They think it's good. Idiots put it on social media. I'll stab you just to stop it. Does that make sense? And I'm going to tell you this. Now, I'm going to tell you, they don't want me to say this, but I'm going to tell you, that's what I tell you. And we used to live in Dunn, North Carolina. We saw this stuff called artistry. It's makeup for women. We had this saying, half of women in Dunn wear makeup and all of them ought to.
Yeah. I told him this was a bad idea. For the record.
Now, makeup ain't natural, but it helps. Does that make sense? I'm just telling you. I ain't no offense to the allergenic and stuff in the world, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just telling you. You with me? I tell you, and here's another thing. Showers work. But you got to keep doing them. Does that make sense? It's an everyday thing. You don't get to one day not do it, because that'll ruin the whole apple cart. Y'all follow what I'm saying? So that guy thinking hot spots, how are we going to do this? How are we going to keep it all positive when negative happens? How are we going to do that? Like how? It's just watch what we say. And we have meetings about, raise your hands, everybody give positive. Has anybody heard about, I was with this other spot. We talk about other meetings, but not our meeting. Our meeting, we got to stay at positive no matter what. We got to stop the negativity. I am telling y'all, we can blow this thing up to $1 billion Should we all get together? Same thing with that Kernersville hotspot, that little Chicago hotspot, that Detroit hotspot, that Jacksonville. I am telling you, in Jacksonville, if we could cut out any cancers that are causing negatives, if we could put our finger on them, and I know a couple meetings, and I know exactly who they are, but it's just, I can't go down there and do it. I'm not in that locker room. Does that make sense? Ocala, Dallas, Houston, Rancho, every one of these cities, we gotta be looking. We're looking for positive, but when we see negative, we gotta stop it. It sounds okay. You with me on this? Caring, appreciation, gratitude is going to take us through the roof. Unconditional acceptance. Now I got this guy. He's just, he like him. Like him. We had, hey, this is a touchy one. People said, man, we had this guy that smelled awful. Should we have said something? Yes. We said, bro, come out here. I love you. I love you. I don't know if you know this. What are we going to do about this? We can't do this because it was messing up 5, 6 people. You said, I didn't know we could stop negative or something. Oh, yeah, headache. It was bad. It was bad. We should have fixed it. So, but we don't embarrass nobody, but we pull them out. Now, if a person is like me, okay, meaning he's my size, my height, my weight, my gender, my political view, no discussion. You with me? It's the negativity. If this is slicing frog hairs. Them things are thin and hard to cut in half. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like all positive, if we have negative, we got to get rid of it. Does that make sense? And we don't judge people based on something they can't control. Shower we control. Negativity we can control. All right, I'm on too far base. I want to get you some. This is my sociologist, Jeff.
We just want to say that caring is necessary because people want to feel validated. They don't want to hear about problems. They want you to tell them things are going to be okay. That's what they want. They come there for hope, right? But I was telling Andy this. Okay, so I was watching Judy Garland the other day, the movie, right? And so she sings Somewhere Over the Rainbow at the end of the movie. It's her last performance before she dies. And she sits on the stage and she tells what it means to find the end of the rainbow. So I want to ask you all this question. Is the end of the rainbow a destination or is it a journey? So how many people think it's a journey? How many people think it's a destination? All right. So she said it was a journey. But we have to look at it this way. Getting to the end of the rainbow may not be until you die, in the way she put it. It may be heaven. It's something else that you're working for. And so therefore, life is not a straight line sprint. It's an oval. And it's a track. And you just keep making that round over and over and over again. Now, the problem with that is some people, they have to have a goal. I'm not saying that a goal have to be, you don't have to take a goal and make it mutually exclusive of a journey. The goals can be along the way. So here's why people don't see it this way. Because most of you say journey, but everything's a destination. You want to hurry up and check a box so you can go have fun, right? I'm going to make my dial so I can go do this, right? So the problem is that you have this debate in your head going on. What matters versus what counts.
That's so confusing to me right there.
What matters, what counts. And if what matters takes precedence over what counts, you're never going to be successful. You're going to have to make what counts take precedence over what matters.
Like a birthday party?
Like a birthday party.
Like today's my birthday. But today, I was invited to meet the president. Today, I could go write an annuity. Today, my new guy has a question and wants to talk for 15 minutes. But today's my birthday. It matters. It's my birthday. It's my kid's birthday. Does that make sense? Is that?
That's exactly right. So things, look, my family matters to me. My mother matters to me.
Yes, you do.
Yes, she does. And I'll take her to Blue Ribbon once a week.
That's over and above beyond.
It is, yeah, that's for your mother listening. All right, but
We're good buddies.
But what counts is I got to get stuff done before I get that privilege to take my mother somewhere. If I don't take care of what counts, I'm not going to be able to take care of what matters.
You see how this fixes that problem? This is how you can stay out of your own way.
Because I will, listen, Judy Garland said this. It was a heartfelt moment when she was talking about it. But she looked at the crowd and she said, if you don't figure this out, you're never going to be happy, because the walk on that journey has to be everything. It has to be enough. It has to be enough. To get up and do something over and over has to be enough for you. If you're looking for more and you're trying to make dialing sexy, it's never going to be sexy. Doing the dial has to be enough. The walk has to be enough. So making things count in your life is all about having something to do. It provides you meaning. What counts provides you meaning. And if you don't find meaning, you'll never, ever reconcile what matters, which is what you become. It is your purpose in life. There's so many books written on my why and my purpose. They don't tell you that if you don't reconcile your meaning, you're never going to understand your purpose. You cannot put the cart before the horse.
That's good teaching right there.
Can't do it.
Mr.
It's not going to work.
I that in the waste house. I had 3 months training in the waste house. Mr. Henry said, you can't put the cart before the horses. I was like, yes, sir. Hey, more controversy coming. Just want to give you a heads up. That show that used to come on with him, that guy got to be a movie star, and he took all his cronies with him. And Ari was his representative. Entourage. Yeah. And Ari was the guy. And Ari and his wife's having some problems, to say the least. And they were in counseling. They were in counseling, sitting there on the couch, and the joker says, "Hello? Hold on a second." His wife was mad. And the counselor was mad.
You should have never watched that. I didn't know you was watching that.
It's what matters and what counts. And my boy's like, I don't understand my marriage matters. I got a multi-million-dollar phone call at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to take it. You know, I was laughing so hard because it was him and his wife and his, what do you call them? Psychologist, not my psychologist and my wife and my phone call. That's what I thought was so funny. This is the kind of thing, this is decisions. He's like, this matters, but this counts.
That's right.
Hey, man, this is what we got to do.
Exactly right.
I am telling you. And you say, well, you know, he'll never make it up. Well, he's going to have to try. Because he got to take his call. Does that make sense? People say, but matters more. And this, you know, preachers and different people have different opinions. I'm just telling y'all. Does that make sense? It's the hardest thing to reconcile, but my mind's made up. You know, like he looked. If it had been a red, he'd have pressed red. That daggum thing was a green. Does that make sense? Controversy. I'm just letting you know. Everybody don't want to hear that mess.
And listen, some people that choose what matters and then worry about what counts later, this is what they do. See, because what counts is activity. That's what counts, is activity.
You
and
went 30, it's early in the afternoon.
And what matters is a feeling. And a feeling ain't going to buy you nothing at Chick-fil-A. It really ain't. You can go over and say, I feel like I need a chicken sandwich. And well, what counts is you got money in your pocket. So I know a lot of people that lead with what matters, and this is what they do on that path, on that oval track. They just sit down. They sit down, and they ponder, and they think a lot. And they think about, what's my purpose? I'm not happy
Get up with your purpose, boy.
I'm not happy with my life. Can y'all join me down here? We talk about that and just have a little circle.
No. That's exactly right. They sit down. I call it curl up in the fetal position. Nobody got time to that. Somebody got to die. Somebody got to make some money. We got to make a difference. We got to save a life. We got to change something. We got to fix something. So here's the question: you think it's easier to feel your way into a do or do your way into a feel? That's the whole deal.
That's the debate.
The debate is: do you want to feel your way into a do or do your way into a feel? And here's the way it works for me. When I get up in the morning, have me a cup of coffee and start my day, I feel better. Because if I wait till I feel like getting up, it ain't gonna happen. Right. It just ain't gonna happen. The do. That's why I do the activity. That's why I do the do thing. That's why I'm telling y'all, it's just the craziest thing. Here's more controversy coming. I was preaching, man. I said, dude, this guy can't get off of porn. What do I do? He said, you can't get him off of porn. I said, what am I going to do? He said, get him thinking about this. I said, what about that? He said, no, think about this. Don't get him off of it. Get him on this. Does that make sense? How do you make the dark light? You can't make the dark light. What do? Turn a light on. It's a light. A light brings light, but you can't change darkness. You can't change it, but you can bring a light. You can't get him off of this habit, but what you can do is get him on a habit. It's a do and then feel. Does that make sense? So once he's doing, then he don't feel like doing that. But if you try to get rid of the feel, you can't get rid of the feel. But if you bring in a do, then they don't have time for the feel. So it's like the light eliminates the dark. So the do eliminate that feel, that bad. Does that make sense? That's the way AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, works. You with me? They have a strategic, got 12 systems. And the first thing is get them focused on the light. And the light be the God, the higher power. And then the higher power, and then the do, which is the accomplishment. And all that stuff dissipates the problems. Does that make sense? And we got a lot of people that have changed their life by focusing on this and then do. And then some people, I had somebody, did you say this to me the other day? They said, part of your drive, I think, is because you don't want to deal with the stuff you don't want to deal with. I was like, right. I don't know where the problem is there. You follow what I'm saying? In other words, I'm about accomplishing because I don't want to stop and sit there. I don't want to waller in that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like wallowing in it. It doesn't make me feel better after I've wallered. Some people are big on wallowing. Yeah, wallowing, yeah, get it out. I'd be like, you need to put a top back on that stuff. That stuff stinks. You know what I'm saying? Just bottle it back up.
So the moral here, we're saying, number one, if you cared about somebody, you get them thinking about what counts. Then we can talk about what matters. If you cared about them. But if you go with what matters first and you think that's care, that's called enabling.
Oh, you done been called an enabler. You don't want to be called that.
So let's move on to number two.
We got to.
All right. Number two.
Two, loving relationships is when people are happy and they laugh a lot. The laughing and the smiling and the joking that you see between me and Adam Katz and me and Stephen Davies and me and Diane Lampy is happiness. Laughing is from happiness when we have sacrificed for each other some way, somehow, so many times. You tracking with me on that? First time I ever met Tim Go, that Jekyll was telling me all kinds of stuff. And I listened to him. I know it's a good hour and a half. It might have been 2 hours. And man, I'd give him a wow. Whew. I done into him. You with me? As in, I done invested. And I was busy. But I took 2 hours to listen to it. And he said, what do you think about it? I said, hey, listen. I said, it's incredible, man. Amazing. I can't, I said, good, man. I'm fired up, so we're gonna be friends, right? So next morning I called him. I said, hey, Tim, listen here. Last night, Bo, I had a little bit of wine. And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember what you were saying. 2 hours. Kind of give me the highlights. That joker started laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. We laughed, And then I started telling him some of the stuff that he told me. He said, Bo, he said, for a second there, I want to kill you. But, you know, ain't laughing's about half of it, Danny. Ain't it? Me and Adam Katz, the stuff we've been through, with Paul Roberts, the stuff we've been through, but we laugh and we cut up because when it's most inconvenient is when you need to be there for these people right here. Does that make sense? The best time you can go help a hot spot when it's most inconvenient for you. That makes sense? Because you will laugh about the problems that you almost let stop you.
That's right.
Does that make any sense? So either you need to go to the hot spot or the hot spot needs you to go to the meeting.
There you go.
Does that make sense? So the AA meeting, either the people need you or you need to be there. Oh, I'm good. I already know how it works. I got everything under control of my life. They need you there. My life's a mess. I'm a disaster. You need to go there. I'm having inconvenience, stuff I can't get out of. You need to be there. Does this make sense? Lovingness, happiness, people that are sacrificed for their family and their friends are loved the most. It's not a sacrifice if it's convenient. Taking a phone call from somebody, I got a guy that, I mean, it's unbelievable the ups and downs we've been through. It's been tough. And he has a situation with his wife, and he called me, and I was in the middle of an emergency situation. I knew it would count if I took his phone call. And I took it, and I told the person I was with, I said, look, I got to take this. This is going to ruin this guy's life if he goes through what he's saying. Matter of fact, he might not have a life right afterwards. I got to take this call. Hold on. So my deal had to be put on hold. You with me? It was insanely inconvenient. The last 24 hours, I had 2 friends, high level, do insanely inconvenient. One lady's a COO of a major company, and I could hear the grandchild screaming in the background, and I was telling her that she needed to hang up and call somebody else for me. It was a grandchild. It wasn't screaming, but I could hear them talking. I knew she was with grandchildren. You with me? Yeah. And she said, I hang up and I call them. And I went, bam. This is a doer. That's how she got to that job, by the way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You tracking? We'll laugh about it. We were kind of laughing this morning. We ain't through the whole thing yet. Spouses who love each other, who love their children, are willing to make any sacrifice to preserve and protect the well-being. Okay. Sacrifice is necessary. Sacrifice is inconvenient, not natural. Growing a hot spot, it's the inconvenience that does it. When I was in Amway, I used to try to get 5 people together and then 10 people together and 22 people, just like you're building a hot spot now. You have no idea. Some of you don't. You Terry and Tia, y'all know. Danny, you're starting to get it. Kyle, you're getting it. The sacrifices required to get this many people in one room. Preachers that are able to get 100 people in one room. Preachers that are able to get 800 people. Preachers. These guys got 40,000 people attending at one time. They're sacrifice people. You have no idea the stuff they go through, and they're not perfect. You don't understand their situation. You know how I don't understand your situation, Moorhead? You don't understand Stephen Furtick's situation. Right. You don't understand Greg Rochelle's. You don't understand T.D. Jakes. You don't understand their situation. You have no idea the stuff they've done. Here's what I do know. I'm telling you, to get that many people together, it was inconvenient.
That's right.
Does that make any? I'm just telling you, this is how we, and you walk like this right here, and you act like you ain't got no inconvenience.
Cool as a fan.
Yeah, that's right there. Walk up in there, and they go like, he ain't got no problems. I go, brah, you don't know the problems. You don't know the trouble I seen.
That sacrifice that we're talking about has a lot to do with, we want people to feel like there's an environment that where and Terry, his hot spot, I've been there several times. It's very inviting. It's very inviting. But you can create that inviting, but if you don't have that sense of sacrifice for each other, they don't sense that, they're not coming back. But once they sense that, I mean, you can get them there and make them feel good, right? But after that, what you say and how you say it to each other. See, people don't listen to what you say right off the bat. That is true. They don't hear the words coming out of your mouth. I know I sound like Chris Tucker now, but
You know a lot of names.
I do. Yeah, it's just watching too much television. But the words coming out of people's mouth, I don't hear them right off the bat. But if you make me feel good about being around you, now I'm going to perk up and I'm going to start listening. So yeah, make them feel good when they get there. But then they got to hear the words. They got to hear the words of sacrifice, of not just testimonials of how much money we make, but we sacrifice for each other. We've got to push that message of sacrifice, or people are not going to come back. They're just not going to feel like, hey, this is a place I want to be, because these people really see. Caring's one thing. Caring's pretty easy, but sacrifice is tough, because you got to put yourself out. It's easy. I can walk up and act like I care about you all day, like act. It's hard to act sacrifice, because there's evidence behind it.
Yeah, it is.
There's evidence.
I like that.
The evidence is people show up. We got a lot of people show up these hot spots. Their base, it's the same numbers.
That's how I know
the same numbers.
That's how I know them preachers sacrificed.
But the sacrifices, it's not just you showing up every time. We've got to get other people to show up. Or we're saying we're presenting the same plan to the same 30 people, and then there's 2 new ones, and we got to act excited because there's 2 new ones that never heard it. How about getting the same 30 and add 30 more?
Oh, there you talk about exponential growth.
My son-in-law here, Brandon Manley, come in here. Let me show you. This is how he says he makes them feel good. And y'all see me do this. You stand right here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. So here's the way it works. So he comes in. I see him at the tailgate, the football game. Here's the way I want to do right here. What's up, Bo? What does that remind you of? Reba.
The dog.
Our dog. Right? Reba come up to you like this. You with me? I'm telling you, the happy dog syndrome. You can't, doggies, they get you with that waggy tail. You with me? This is what he's saying. Now, you got to back it up with evidence. You track with me? Yeah. This is how, when I see people in the meeting, this is the biggest thing. Terry does this. Some of our breasters, Gina Hawks does this. She'll recognize you. Each person throughout the meeting gets a. You with me? And you say, like, is that fake or is it intentional? This is what I practice doing. It's like driving, like checking the mirror. Like if I see an animal, first I aim to them, I check my mirror. It's just a habit. Because I'm thinking about hitting the brakes, but if somebody behind me, I'm getting ready to run over something. Does that make sense? It's just a habit. I practiced, I have a plan. And my plan is,
Right.
You with me? And I'm saying things that apply to different people that I have a secret connection with them. Does that make sense? Like a Moorhead and a Morehouse. See, a Morehouse is a positive thing to him, so I'm going to put him Moorhead with the Morehouse. You know, I'm just trying to connect with as many people in the slightest thing I can. But I don't just need the speaker to do it. I need you to connect with everybody there, and not your friend.
That's it. Come on now.
High five your friend and give them the old wag, and then move on. Does that make sense? Don't give them 2 wags. Give the new people 2 wags. You already know him. We're building a network, and your network ain't working. Give me. That's what I'm talking about. I got to get him doing this right because I got to get him rich. I can't be supporting my daughter the rest of my life. Does that make sense? Well, people need that. You tell me you see me do it. When I get out of the car, or before I get out of the car, when I put up to the tailgate, I'm waving. Sometimes I roll down the window and do this right here. And I don't care which one of them thinks I'm waving at them. Does that make sense? Let me tell y'all this. This is in selling too. This is what we teach. When you get out your car, you come up to the house, there's the house. You get out your door, you go like this.
Hit them with a wave, baby.
People say, what if I don't see them? Do. They don't see them and react. You get out and do. Give them the old. Like that right there. Because I'm telling y'all, you have no idea how many times they're looking out the window and go, there comes that insurance agent, close the window. And then they see this, they go, he done seen us. That's what they do. They go, he done seen us, now what we're going to do? That's what they do. I'm telling you, Bo. You give it the old like that right there. Or they're thinking, this is going to be the boringest presentation ever. We're going to have this old, dull person. You open that door and give them the old. And you got to get the extension thing, not this. You know what I'm talking about? Not the alligator. That's the alligator, you know. That's what you use. That's what you use when you don't want to pay the bill. Get my billfold. Y'all know that, right? Let me pay. Oh, you beat me to it. You with me? You got to get the extension thing going. Does that make the extension thing going? It messes them up, Bo. I'm telling y'all, this is how we go and just triple and double, and meetings go crazy. And because there's some people that fight this. They go like, I'm not going to do that. I am going to be how I feel, and I am who I am. Dude, if you am who you are, you're going to keep that bank account. We don't want it to stay that way. We want you to have an MBA, right? Y'all know what MBA is, right? Everybody know? Massive bank account.
That's right.
Okay? All right.
So
how you been doing, man?
Good.
Everything rocking?
So let's talk.
Give him the mic. Let's have him say something.
Okay.
Imitation and copy. That's a good idea. What's been going on?
Selling, recruiting,
Building.
building.
How's my daughter?
She's doing good.
She's semi-happy.
Yeah, I hope so.
Proud of you, man. He's a good guy. All right, what are you talking about?
So what he was talking about, it's a lot of people go, oh, I don't like doing all that. That's so it makes me feel fake. It's not natural and all that. They make all these comments like that, and it kills me because fake is if something's fake to you, then it
Fake
like
F-A-K-E.
yeah, fake. Then it seems like you're just imitating. If it becomes a habit, like Andy's talking about, then it becomes intentional. Then it becomes you're copying. See, too many people try to imitate him and they don't copy him, and there is a difference. Because copying is something that becomes intentional and you don't have to think about doing it. When you're imitating, you have to think about it. And see, faking is thinking about it. Copying, it's natural, it's intentional. So we need more people copying him, not imitating him. That's just one of the things that upsets me.
Explain this to me. So to me, I got to go meet this guy right here on the corner. Does that make sense? Like I got to do it. What's your name, sir?
T. Harrison. That's me.
Who is it?
T. Harrison.
T. Harrison. Who hired you, T?
Dave.
You go by T?
Yes.
Are you? Is it you calling T? All right. Are you licensed?
Not yet.
You in class?
On my way.
On your way. Okay. All right. What time are you doing that? Okay, good. So get right afterwards. Okay. So here's kind of what I equate to. When I go to basketball games, football games, them jokers be like, I be that looks awkward to me. But all of them do it. I think because it works. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like it's a stupid looking thing. They do this, they get it in there. I be like, God, I pulled something right then. But you understand what I'm telling you is? And then they got this thing where they put a rubber band on there and they do this right here. And I'm like, what are people? That's so foolish right there. It looks stupid right there. And then, I'm going to not TJ Warren, but Torrin Dorn. I'll be messing with him right there. Our seats are right there. All these stupid exercises, It's a habit, but they also don't want to get a muscle ripped and be not able to play. Does that make sense? So the how, to me, this works. People say, how do you remember to do it? Or what? I said, because it's on the list of things to check off. It'd be like if I'm opening up a safe. You got to go all the way around 3 or 4, 5, 6 times, get that thing in rhythm, and then stop on a number. And you don't stop close to the number, you stop on the number. And then you got to pay attention to go back around 2 times, not 1 time, which I know it's a big number, but it's like it works. Why would people not do that? Does that make what I'm saying? What I'm saying is like, did they not want it? And I'm like, do they not want it as much as me? Did they like being broke? I didn't like it. Does that? You follow, it's a how habit. It's a, this works. Why would I not do this?
You see, imitation's going through the motions. If you're doing it with purpose like that, because you believe it's going to help,
then you do it with purpose.
Then you do it
like
with
you're
purpose.
Sincerely.
Yeah. Then it
stretching.
becomes a habit. If you believe something is going to work, it will become a habit, and you'll not think twice about it, and you'll just do it. If I didn't think brushing my teeth would work, I probably wouldn't do it. But it's
Only
become
floss the teeth you want to keep.
Yeah, that's important. That's true. But oh God, yeah, he will do that.
That's the way my mama does his mama too. She'll be interrupting.
Let's don't talk about that. So let's go to number 3.
Let's go to number 3. Okay. Laughing, cutting up. The true measure of a health of relationships and how often people involved laugh together and how often. Since laughter is the outer expression of an inner feeling of true happiness, it's the one measure that cannot be faked. Me and Tim Goad laugh a lot. Me and you just went and killed a bunch of mean pheasants up in South Dakota, and we laughed the whole time. We laughed the whole time. We had 65-degree weather, nice breeze, sunshine. Next group came in, 44 degrees, raining. We were laughing about it when they come in the door. Y'all gonna freeze your butt off. Wait till your feet get wet. You understand what the true measure when people are laughing and cutting up and joking, you can't fake that. The sincere camaraderie that's going on. It's not natural because we're hurting. The older we get, people dying. It's stuff happening in the world. There's starving children in Africa. There's people with cancer. My brother-in-law gets his knee replaced today. You with me? It's just stuff happening all the time. It's not natural, but it's become natural for the people that are winning. And it's relationships. It's figuring out a way to put that down, drop that down. I don't know if dropping that down is important as in we just figure out a way to laugh. Does that make sense? It's not how do you stop doing something, it's what do we do? We know we got to laugh. Like in the worst of disasters, we know that it's required that we laugh. And it sounds crazy and it's insanely inconvenient, as Jeff says, to be laughing when there's so much to be sorry about. Does that make sense? We got so much to be miserable about. We ain't got no time to start laughing about it. Does that make sense? And for the poor people, they don't understand that. I'm just telling you, it's a differentiator. They don't get that laughing. As a matter of fact, sometimes we'll make a joke, and if something bad happened, and then we'll look at each other and we'll go like, too soon? You know what I'm saying? Because, we're already wanting to laugh. We're trying to get through that part, so we make a comment, and we go like, too soon? Is that too soon? And then we all go, we start laughing because we know we ain't supposed to be laughing right now because it's too soon. We just had a death. Calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, too soon? This is the way we are, and it's because of the relationships we've built. And this is how we grow that mass. It's when we all laughing about all the problems. I mean, it's not about the problems. We're just figuring out something that we can laugh about. How's that? Are we in the neighborhood there?
Yeah, and listen, laughter is evidence that we are living in the moment. Because if we don't ever take time to laugh, we're never going to appreciate where we are right now. You do take time to sit down and say, hey, I am a happy person because of all the work I've put in. We need to celebrate it every once in a while. And I think laughter is a form of celebration. But you know this is to be true. If I ask you this question, is it easier to make people laugh? Is it easier to make people cry? Right.
I would think cry. Is that what you're saying?
It's easier to make people cry because we all are
BMC.
sad. We're all sad about the same stuff.
BMC.
Grief is grief. Everybody's grief is similar. But it is really hard to make everybody laugh at the same thing because our sense of humor is all over the board. So if we can create an environment where we can introduce laughter, it brings us closer together and closes those divides. Even though we have diversity, if we can find ways to not have nervous laughter, just natural laughter, and we don't have to walk on eggshells with each other. I mean, it's very obvious. I'm a white man, and Tia's a black lady right here, a beautiful black lady. But you know what? We are friends, and we get each other. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm sorry, Terry. And we love to laugh. We love to laugh about him, right? Yeah. Yeah. See, you shouldn't include yourself on the conversation. But the obvious difference, we don't see that with each other because we laugh with each other. We're comfortable with each other. Those differences, somebody else has to point them out to us. Yeah.
What do y'all think? It's simple. Accepting people no matter what, sacrificing to be together and help each other, and then laughing your butt off. To me, I'm asking you to do the simplest things in the world, and then Jeff Bright and Tim Goad tell me they're inconvenient and they're hard for people. I'm like, oh my God, how is this possible? How is this possible that you cannot get it? So teach it, preach it, work on it personally across the country. Let's blow this thing up. We got more leads than we've ever had. We got guaranteed issue product, which is bizarre. These IULs with NLG and F&G, the annuity program, BAM, Chris Norris, and now Van Gray, which you've got access to. Referrals, refined, the ERS system. It's not been like this ever before. Okay. Hey, real quick. Mike, you okay if I introduce you? Okay. I want y'all to meet a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a long time because he's just like been one of my heroes. This is my buddy, Mike Warren. Would y'all give him a hand? Come up here. Mike, we're going to give Mike the red mic for some reason.
There you go. We like red.
We like red. So good to see you, man.
You too,
Thanks
bud.
for coming. I appreciate you coming out.
You good man. I've heard that. I heard that already. We all heard that.
They're going to ask you to keep that close.
All right, I'll keep it close.
So I know you've done a lot of talk. So this is, y'all know my freshman, well, you might not know, my freshman year was 1982-83, and that's when, I will honestly, if I keep talking about it, like start tears dropping out of my eyes, but that's when NC State won a national championship in basketball, and it was my freshman year, and it was crazy. So Mike Warren was one of the stars on that team. How about that? Wow. And so to have him,
a lot of fun.
So to have him show up, and we were talking, and I said, Bo, would you just come by and just say hello to everybody? And I'd love to see you, and I want to brag on my team and everything. But he's been extremely successful in multiple businesses after his national championship career and after his college career. Has incredible kids. Even allowed one of them to attend the other school, and which I'm in.
He's his own guy, Andy. He makes his own choice.
I'm with you, bro. I got two kids. They get to pick that. Apparently, they don't let you tell them what to do anymore. Like after they get a certain age, they get to make decisions. But anyway, I just want you to say hello and good to see you, people, and anything that's on your heart or your mind. And I know you just saw us do this crazy little simple 3 talk.
Well, this is incredible to me. It's the first time I've seen it. So let me just tell you this. I've been in the financial services business for 30 years, and there's a lot of opportunity. There's not one of you that has to go out to tomorrow and buy a lot full of equipment that's going to cost you $1 million so you can make $200,000 on it. You can make more than that right here. You see what I'm saying? You can make more than that right here. And the best thing I saw, I hadn't even been in the room 5 minutes, and I saw the pyramid and where you widen the base. There's nothing that makes more sense to me than that. And if you think about things, and I do, in very simplistic terms, I like that sweatshirt, by the way. When you think about things in very simplistic terms, the more people we touch, the more problems we solve, the more money we make. but nobody gave it to you for free. You had to go widen that base. So I appreciate you showing me that again, and it's a pleasure seeing all you guys. Thank you.
Hey, hold. How, y'all have heard of Jim Valvano and the money he's raising for cancer research, and he died from cancer, and what they do with the Jimmy V Foundation and what they do there. How much fun and how many times do you think about that? How much fun was it? How many times do you hear about it?
Every day. So Jim Valvano told us 30 years ago, has it been 30? It's been more than 30.
More than that.
It will mean more to you in 20 years than it means today. We're a bunch of college kids, and it meant a lot to us. It means so much more today, and I cannot tell you there will not be a place I go any day of the week. And partly because I'm tall. People ask, you play basketball, of course, and you get the conversation. But it's amazing everybody has a story. Everybody has a story about 1983. You weren't here in 1983, but you're wearing that red and white. I guarantee you somebody has a story about 1983 they can tell you. It's amazing. So to me, to be amongst like-minded folks, big fun. Big fun.
Practice cutting down the net.
Practice cutting down the nets.
When everybody said you had no shot at doing it.
The guy came to Raleigh, he was 33 years old, y'all. He was 33 years old. We think about these people. He came the same time Mike Krzyzewski did. You think about these people being successful from the start and old from the start. Nothing could be further. I mean, what a great spot you're in. You're young and you got a whole life ahead of you. I'm young, I got a whole life ahead of me. And I'm older than you are. But it's amazing how much opportunity exists. And that's what I got from Jim Valvano the first time he walked in my high school gym and said hello. An incredible guy.
That's just crazy to me. I love people. We're all way different, but we can help each other. We can make a difference in each other's lives. And this alliance, we stick together, guys. We can make such a massive impact. I call it national championship. Always trying to win a national championship. But we need players on the team. The 30-30, when y'all got back together and y'all were talking and crying and laughing and the memories. It's what I do now with Diane Lampy and Alex Fitzgerald and Adam Katz and Andy Riddle and Stephen Davies. And Stephen Davies, I love him. He says, why wait and laugh later? We know we're going to laugh about this later. Why don't we laugh now? The things that Jane and I have went through with Holly and Stephen, and the things that we went through with Danny Johnson and Lori, our wives have cancer at the same time, and it's stuff that we've been through. It's sticking together and sacrificing so that we can win, so each win we can talk about the rest of our life, guys. Right. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Woo! Have a great week. Let's kill it. Go get them.